Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be giving you another boring video on the Quackalope channel. We're going to be working our way through all of the new cards and the new mechanics in Zombicide White Death by we're going to show them to you so you can read them for yourself and see them and figure out what exactly is in this prototype. We have a full preview. We have 3 gameplays coming out, and I know there's actually going to be a massive amount of people that want to see all the special weapons, the new artwork, the new gear, all the crazy stuff we've been able to explore here. So we're going to slide some stuff out of the way. We're going to get some decks of cards together, and then we're going to start showing you what exactly is here in not Marvel Zombies, in Zombicide White Death. Why was I thinking Marvel Zombies? We just did a preview video where we were comparing them all.
What do you want to start with? Because I am most excited to start with the vault weapons.
You want to start with the vault weapons?
Or should we end with the vault weapons because they're so...
No. Let's give the people what they want. Let's start right with the vault weapons.
Okay.
So this is our zone.
All right. So the vault weapons are going to be weapons that get dropped on the board.
Just spoil all the vault weapons.
The vault weapons are going to be dropped on the board if you kill an abomination or a necromancer, or if you claim an objective token that has a green or blue X on the back of it. And these weapons are crucial to your success in Zombicide.
We're saving the characters for the end, though.
No, we're going to do them next.
Ah!
Okay. Vault weapon number 1, a storm crossbow. Vault Iron Rain. You had a lot of fun with this weapon. It does not make any noise. It is a ranged weapon. It has a range of 1 to 4. You roll 2 dice. It hits on 4 pluses, and it's a level 2 weapon, which means that it can take down your brutes in this scenario. The Iron Rain. Do you want to explain what the Iron Rain does?
You fire another shot for every zombie in a location. You've got 8 zombies there. Well, you're not rolling 2 dice. You're rolling 8. Still hitting on the same conditions.
Yes. Oh, it was glorious. Fury of the AK, the 47th. This is going to be a spell, and I don't believe we saw this. This has Mono Rain. I haven't looked up the ability. Grab your sheet.
Let's look up the ability. So our stats here is going to be, there's going to be a magic spell, 0 to 3 range, rolling 1 die, hitting on a 5+ for 2 damage. And let's figure out exactly what Mana Rain does. Now, while Shira's looking for that ability, I'm going to go ahead and start showing you...
Mana Rain. When resolving a magic action, the survivor may substitute the dice number of combat spells they use with the number of zombies standing in the targeted zone. Skills affecting the dice value, like +1 die magic, will still apply.
Nice.
So it is the exact same thing as Iron Rain with your ranged weapons. I would love them to have one for a melee. We shall see.
Oh, that'd be fun. Well, kind of the one that you had, the Baba Yagas.
No, Baba Yaga's a little different. Baba Yaga's Pestle. So this is another vault weapon, does not create any noise. This is a melee. It is 1 die, hits on 4+. It's a 2 damage weapon.
Wait.
As soon as you kill a zombie with this weapon, you kill every single other zombie in the zone.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, imagine like smacking, cracking the neck, the head explodes, and then there's black like dust goo seeps out and just everything falls to dust.
Yes. All right, the next one is going to be the Partisan. This is a vault, a pole arm. Pole arms are specific in White Death, means that it's a range of like 1 to 1, which means you have to be in the next scenario and you're sticking down.
But this one isn't. This one's a 0 to 1.
0 to 1. 2 dice, hits on 3 pluses. It's a 2. Escalation melee. I want to see what the escalation does.
Yeah, some of these we haven't been able to see in our gameplay because it can be hard to actually get a hold of cool vault
Escalation.
weapons.
The survivor gains 1 extra die to roll for subsequent actions of the specific type. So every single second melee action, and this doesn't have a reload because it's not something like that.
So you can get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're kind of spinning it around yourself in a way.
The bonus is cumulative and applies until the end of the survivor's turn. The bonus is lost whenever the survivor performs another type of action.
That's so fun.
So if you take 4 melee actions, you get a single extra dice every single time.
Imagine being up on the wall and you're just sweeping 1, 2, 3. I mean, you could wipe out 8, 9, 10 zombies.
Yeah. All right, we haven't seen this one either.
Oh,
it's
an ice bow.
Freeze, ranged.
So I know for the freeze ability is the thing that if you target a zone, you'll freeze everyone there. My assumption is that this does it, instead of having it be a magic spell or like a 0 to 1 range, this can actually do it 1 to 3 spaces away.
2 dice hits on a 3. It's only a level 1, but if you succeed in that zone, you place a freeze token, and for the next activation...
You shut down everything there. Yep. It's not just a level 1. It shuts everything else down. You have time to get your team in position.
All right, we have another Baba Yaga's Blessing.
Oh, this is so
cool. An enchantment. Enchantment requires an action to take. This is once per turn. You get to choose one. You either get +1 die for your combat and +1 to your dice roll in combat, or you can get +1 max range, so take something even a step further and damage to in combat. The target or survivors benefits from the chosen skill for their next combat action, and it can be used while it's in your backpack. So you do not have to have this equipped. You can have this with your other Baba Yaga weapon and be a force to be reckoned with.
Nice.
Royal Guard's Helper.
Now this is a 1-to-1.
This is a 1-to-1. This is a pole arm, 3 dice, hits on a 4. It's just a level 2. Nothing super specific besides just being...
It's a very powerful pole arm, though.
Yeah, 3 dice. It should be fun to use. And then Dervish Blades.
This is a Volt weapon. 0 distance. Got to be in your space.
Melee.
3 dice hitting on a 3+. This is like a dual wield blade, except, and does 2 damage. It's like a dual wield blade, but instead of with the Shashka that we have here, you don't need to take up multiple spaces.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flip quickly through some of our other creatures. So we have a Necromancer here. Now this is the first Necromancer, kind of a basic intro one. Spawns with a Defiler spawn zone, so brings a spawn zone with it. And the Defiler does not move. Instead, the spawn zone it comes from moves towards the beacon, creating corruption zones along the route. So that's why you can see up here with the green, we have pushed Beacon 1 and Beacon 2, or Spawn Zone 1 and Spawn Zone 2, farther along the track. A lot of the objectives are probably going to work around this. I would not be surprised to see other Necromancers that have other special abilities but still operate with this same methodology or same mentality. Now we have the guards. The guards are going to be our equipped units that are on the board.
These are NPCs that every single character is going to be able to take a guard action and start out with a specific guard ability with their character.
Yeah, their basic stats, 1-to-1. They've got pole arms in their hands, rolling 1 die, hitting on a 4+ for 1 damage. They also have a sword, which is going to be the same stats, but it's going to be
Flip them over. Flip them over. You're
location.
going to see the types of actions that you can do with them. You can cause, on your turn, you can cause the guards to take a step. You activate every single guard in a specific zone. You can cause everyone in there to take 1 move action.
Yep.
They can take 1 melee action, or they can take 1 ranged action, or they can pick up and move something for you, or pour something for you.
Yeah, and then finally, we have our Abomination Shira. Do you want to go through this very handsome guy here?
Abomination. He's strong. He's big. He requires a level 3 weapon, which there are none in White Death, so you either have to level up or pour fire onto him. He can also climb your rampart and battlement. He climbs up onto things.
It's a
He's
problem.
Tall. Look how tall he is.
And the only way to kill him is to dump fire on him before he gets on top of it. When he's on top of it, he will... I know this.
From experience?
From experience. He will kill everyone.
Yeah. He's very, very ruthless.
Okay, so I've got a deck of ability cards here, which
Here's
you're handing
gear.
me. We have some gear that you've handed me. Those are a starting gear.
Yep.
Over there.
And then I was collecting the characters to start going through the characters.
Okay, before you start going through the characters, I'm going to very quickly sprint through this deck here.
Show them the specific ones that are slightly different in this scenario.
Yeah, so we've got walkers. We've got the abominations, which are going to be able to...
If there's no abomination on the board, put him on. If there is, either you can put a second one, because the rulebook does go into how to add extra necromancers and extra abominations with White Death, or just give him an extra activation.
But importantly, this is where he's going to be able to move up onto the wall, for instance. We've got our brutes, we've got our runners, we've got our 1 extra activation.
Yep.
Now, this is going to be a little bit of a unique card. Zombie Siege.
Zombie Siege is going to be specific in White Death. This is specifically in scenarios that have this corruption. You are going to spawn 1 walker on every single tile that has corruption. So in the beginning, if you only start out with 3 corruption zones, that's only 3 walkers.
Yep.
But if you make it halfway through the game and all of a sudden you have 12 corruption zones or 8 corruption zones, that's 8 additional walkers, and they're not in a massive group. So they're all spread out. They're all spread out, which makes them really annoying to take down with some of these cool weapons.
You really need to use freeze to potentially kite people and then use your bigger damage dealing weapons to wipe out large
Additionally,
groups.
the second aspect of Siege is going to be that if any walkers or any zombies are next to the battlement, they are going to take a single move action and climb up. So you're not safe.
Yeah, your wall can be overthrown very quickly. Necromancer, that's going to be our Necromancer activation card. Those are going to be the basic cards we have in this starting set of.
Yeah, and the Necromancer does not move in this. This specific Necromancer does not move. All he does is create the corruption, which takes your spawn zone closer and closer to you, trying to reach a beacon of light on the other side of the scenario.
You want to do characters?
Let's do gear. You wanted to save the characters for last.
All right.
You have the gear on your side of the table.
Very complicated, the lifting of cards. Okay, some of the gear that we have, and we're not going to go through these too specifically. We'll put them down so you can see them. Katana. Triple crossbow. This one was actually very fun. 0 to 3 range, 3 dice hitting on a 3+. Very, very specific and targeted.
It does require reloading, which means you have to take an action to reload it. It will reload automatically between your turns.
Dragon Bile. That is new artwork for Dragon Bile. Disintegrate. Very nice little thing. Heavy armor is going to give you a little bit of a block. Torches now are going to be like that.
Searching.
We have the sword. We have a few of these polearm style devices. This is going to be the Gusion.
They have a 1-to-1 range, which is something you probably haven't seen, but they still are a melee attack, so you are not doing a ranged action and causing extra damage to any of your friends in that zone. You're still doing melee.
Torch, dagger, halberd, firebolt's going to be another one of our spells. Sword, another triple crossbow, firebolt, another polearm. We have sprint, which is going to be one of our enhancement abilities, which is going to let you actually move, and I believe someone else.
One free action to use the sprint skill.
Yeah, nice.
Moving.
Great sword. It's going to be a nice big thing. We also have a great axe here. We have a jump ability. What's the jump going to do for us?
Jumping, you can use the jump skill, which I believe
allows you to loft over people instead of being stuck in a location with things.
You spend 1 action, you move 2 zones into a zone on which they have a line of sight. You ignore everything in the intervening zone except walls and closed doors. There's no doors in this scenario. This skill may be used to jump onto a battlement walkway in which the survivor has a line of sight.
Now, we have a marksman ability here with the horn bow as well, which is going to be a 1 to 2, 1 dice, hitting on a 3+. So this is going to be a very targeted shot.
Marksmen may freely choose the targets of all their magic and ranged actions. Friendly fire is ignored.
That's awesome.
That's crucial.
This is a very, very...
You should have had that in our first scenario.
You can kill the necromancer with this. Spear, lightning bolt, healing ability, dagger, another horn bow. Eyewalker.
There's going to be some in the scare deck.
Some water in case you want some water. Lightning bolt, warbow, some lovely apples, some salted items, a combat shield, which we never found. Warbow, katana, great axe, great sword, spear, ice storm, heavy honor, water, halberd, crossbow, combat shield, salted meat, crossbow, repulse, which is this is going to be a push ability, which is actually very nice. You can shove a big group of them back.
Yeah.
Apples,
Good job.
We did.
I'm going to show them the basic gear so that they know what we're starting with, what we're running into. We have We have 2 shotguns to equip. These are dual wielding, so if you grab both of them from your fellow players,
they work really well if you get one person holding them both.
If they're dual, they become a damage 2, which is insane in the beginning of the game to try and take down that necromancer.
Very nice.
It's only 1 die, but it is hitting on a 3.
Yep.
So those are your shotguns. We have a short bow for a ranged action, 0 to 1, 1 die, 3+, 1 damage. We have our magic spell, which is going to be a power blast. It causes noise. If you have another combat spell equipped, then you get an extra die with it, which is really nice. So you would get 2 dice, 4+, 1. Then there's lances, which are not dual wielding. Lances are pole arms with that 1-to-1 range, 3+, 1.
Nice. Okay, let's go through the characters. I think that's all the new stuff we told them we would show them.
This is Sarnai. Sarnai has Spellcaster, Freezing Magic, and Double Casting.
Nice. Now Sarnai core abilities are going to go through double casting, spell book, like you set up here. There's quite a few abilities that are either listed on them if they're brand new, which you can pause the video and read, or they're going to be the classic abilities or modifications of the classic abilities that you have from Green Horde and Black.
Most of your characters will be able to hold something on their body besides, you can either have an armor or they'll have something specific that you can hold. And here's where in White Death, you're going to have a guard specific ability. So if you're activating your guards can be slippery, as well as your starting ability, which is Spellcaster.
Which you always have your extra free spell casting ability.
Yeah, I haven't played with this one. You've played with this one a lot. This is going to be Dragomir. Dragomir has Escalation, which is ranged, and Iron Hide. Okay,
flipping over. So Dragomir starts with the ability to +1 die for a ranged attack. Very good archer, and has the guard ability of +1 more range, or +1 max range, which means they could actually pole arm from 2 spaces away instead of just guards. 1, which is a very nice thing to have if he's going to be conducting and taking a lot of guard actions on the board.
We have Yasuk. Yasuk has Freezing Melee and Hit and Run.
Okay. So, his core abilities, when you start, is going to be Freeze Melee. That means anytime he attacks with a melee action in any zone, he will lock them down there. The next round, no one from there will be able to move out. Then he has the guard ability, which is melee damage 2. He's actually going to be using his ability to raise the guard actions to the point where they can actually kill some of the big brutes that are going to be out there on the board.
We have Genya. Jenya has a searching, when she searches, she gets 2 cards instead of just 1. She's a born leader as well, and so she can give 1 free action to a survivor once she levels up that high. She also has a free guard action, so in addition to having her 3 basic actions, she can take in a 4th action and activate the guard.
This is extremely powerful, especially when you're using guards a lot to like reposition or put things like rope bridges up onto the wall.
We've got Lorna. Lorna has super strength. The damage value of melee weapons is considered to be a 3. That is if she levels up all the way to the red zone, I believe.
She gets the whole way to the red zone, she could kill the abomination. Like I said, there are some options.
Yes. She's a little slippery, so she has a free move action. She can move as well, and then her guards, when they're ranged, they are damaged too.
Yep.
And then last but not least, one of my favorite characters is Ogon. Ogon can shove. His guard action is to push, so both of them are pushing. But if you get him some of the vault weapons and beef him up, he has Ironhide. He's got Bloodlust, melee,
is very nice.
And he's just a tank. And look at his artwork. He was my favorite character, I think, in this scenario.
He's going to be your most straightforward, like, big brawler, but depending on what you customize him with, he can be a really, really powerful character.
Yeah, and he can also, if you put, like, some defense on him, he can take some hits as well with some armor.
There you have it.
Those are the cards.
Some new stuff. There's all the cards.
At White Death.
Yeah, just some of you are weird and like knowing all this stuff. Not us, definitely. We wouldn't watch this.
We didn't look through it all. No, not us. Before we started to play.
We didn't read everything and argue about which characters we wanted to play and what gear we wanted to add onto them.
Not at all.
We wouldn't have done that. Not a bit.
Thank you so much for being here. We hope to see you in the Pledge Manager and getting a copy of White Death.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.